Hello and welcome to Three Questions With. Got my friend Suzanne with us from Integrity Merchant Solutions. Welcome to the show today.
How are you, Kevin?
I'm living the dream every day, my friend.
Good.
So I asked you to come on the show today because I want to talk a little bit about merchant services. My first question today is, how often should I look at my bill, like to make sure my charges aren't changing? What do you recommend?
I say once a year is a good barometer to check your rates. Most people don't understand their statements, so it's hard to see where rates are increased. We try to make our statements as clear as possible, but even for myself, who's been in the business 10 years, it's hard to decipher what all these charges are. And we have an analyst in the company that actually takes the statement, looks. We don't just look at how someone's priced. We also look at the type of cards they take, because if somebody takes a lot of business cards, corporate cards, they're the highest rate cards, and then we can get them on a program to lower that rate. So that's why everybody's different. People think I want their statements so I can see what the price is and just go a little bit lower. That's not the case. We really need to look at the business and see the type of cards they take, whether it's a lot of debit cards or a lot of corporate cards or a mixture of everything.
I really like that answer because I got to be honest, I used to think the same thing. I'm like, well, just tell me what your pricing is. But again, I didn't realize that for a long time. It depends on how you're taking the card. Is it present? Are you swiping it? Are you just
Exactly.
putting it into your phone? All that plays into pricing, right?
Definitely. And when a card is not present, industry wide, it's 30 basis points more. So 100 basis points and 1%, about a third more when the card is not present. So
Yep.
it does make a difference. Some people, the customer's there, but they still key it in. Well, you know what? They don't know that the customer's there. Once you key it in, it's acted as card not present.
Well, like I said, that makes obviously a big difference if
Yes.
you're doing high volume or
And
high
high
ticket
volume,
items
right?
and stuff. So that's very
Exactly.
helpful for people who just don't know, because I know I've done that where I've had the swiping thing and it wasn't working, and oh my God, she's looking at me. I just swiped her card 3 times, it didn't go through, and she's like, "How much did you just charge me?" and stuff. So I can see why people like me would be tempted to try to just key it. But if you do that, obviously it's high cost.
It's only 30 basis points, but like you said, if they have a lot of volume, that adds up.
Yep.
So
The other thing that's kind of unique about your company is you don't have any contracts, right?
exactly. The owner of the company didn't want any contracts because he was in the used credit card companies quite a bit in his business, and he wanted to start a company that did not have any contracts. We want people to be with us because they want to be with us and not hold them hostage. And so we pride ourselves on customer service. So our retention rate is very high because we don't have contracts. Um, we don't have any hidden fees. We don't raise our rates, and people have my cell phone number so they can get in touch with me anytime. Versus some companies, just the weekends are unavailable.
Well, like you said, especially if I'm running a restaurant and it's a Saturday night and something's happened and I don't have the ability to process credit cards, that's going to have a major impact on my business.
Definitely,
Most people are paying by credit card. I think
definitely.
maybe one of the only people actually carries cash in this world and stuff. But it happens though, and like you said, if I go to that restaurant, I've been looking forward to it, and you get to just, hey, just so you know, before you sit down, our machine's down. You're like, oh, I don't have enough cash, so you turn around and leave. It's costing them money.
Exactly. And sometimes it's not the processing company's fault. It could be the internet in the building.
Yeah, yeah.
I've had that happen a lot too, where they think it's us and it thinks our terminal, but it's really not.
One of the things you mentioned is your company doesn't raise rates. That's almost like unheard of. What's the reason behind that?
As I think I mentioned to you this once before, but the owner of the company um, he has the second largest parking company in the country, Laz Parking, Alan Lazowski, and he switched from one credit card company to the other because he was getting his rates raised. He couldn't get good customer service. He said, you know what, I'm tired of it. I'm going to start my own company. He got 3 people that were in the business 25 years and started his own company. And he emphatically wanted no increase in rates, no hidden charges, no contracts. He wants people to be with us, and because of our customer service. And I have customers 10 years now that have the same rate they had when they started with me. So we never raise our rates. And you're right, 90% of the companies out there are raising their rates during inflationary times,
Yeah.
but really has nothing to do with credit card processing.
I really, and though I've never met your boss, I really admire him, because it's exactly it. Like, look, if we're doing a great job, it doesn't matter that you're going to stay with us because we're doing a great
Exactly.
job. We're not raising your rates and we're giving you great service. Why would you even consider leaving? And
Exactly.
that's a great call on their part to do that. So I really admire that. So now, if someone wants to reach out to you, hey, can you take a look at my bill? What's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, since I cover all over the country, I'm obviously used to dealing with people long distance. So the best thing to do is call me at 561-400-7987, and then I talk to them and they can email me a statement, and then I send it up to our analysis guy, and he will look at it and see if we can save them money. If we can't, we go right back to them and say, your rates are great, stay where you are. Or if we can save them money, then we tell them how much we can save monthly, annually, and take it from there.
But honestly, even just for peace of mind, it would make sense to reach out to you, because
Exactly.
we're all like, is this the best deal? So they reach out and you come back and say, hey, we ran the analysis and you're doing great. Then you at least can feel good about it, saying, okay, because again,
Exactly.
as business owners, we're always looking at costs. We always want something to be cheaper. But if you're getting the best deal, you're getting the best deal. So that makes sense,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, exactly. The challenge I have is that people have had bad experiences doing that. They send their statement, they give them a lower price, and then 6 months from there, they increase the rate. So people really don't believe me when I tell them we don't raise our rates. We never will.
Yep.
So it's hard to for them to believe that all the things we're giving them.
Yep, I can respect that. So, Susan, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to call into the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you, the opportunity. Appreciate it.